Hello and welcome. This is Quickfire English with our soon-to-be world-famous series, You're Doing It Wrong, the show in which we point out the common mistakes English learners make and tell you how to correct them. This week's episode, the comma. Before that. So, a common mistake English learners make is writing a comma before that. But is this always a mistake? And if not, when can a comma appear before that? Well, to find out, let's make some common constructions with that and ask ourselves whether or not a comma should appear before it. First, a relative clause. Imagine it's summer, you're on holiday and you want to post a photo to your social media with the caption, "Here's the beach that we are vacationing on." Now, I haven't written a comma here, but could I have? Well, no, it would be wrong to include a comma here. So we can rule out relative clauses as a reason for a comma before that. Next, let's take a verb plus that clause. Imagine now that it's winter and you message your friend in delight to tell her they're saying that school is cancelled because of heavy snow. Should you add a comma here before that? No, you shouldn't. So a verb plus that clause is another scenario where there's no comma before that. Okay then. What about an adjective plus that clause? Let's say your boss sends everybody at work an email which reads, "It's important that everybody comes to the next meeting." Could your boss have included a comma before that here? Well, no. All we've done here is find yet another reason not to write a comma before that. So, let's have one more roll of the dice and look at a noun plus that clause. Say you're reading a newspaper article about a bank robbery, and a line from it reads, "There's a possibility that the bank robbery may have been an inside job." Should the journalist write a comma before that here? Well, you've probably guessed by now, but no, of course they shouldn't have. So, relative clauses, verb plus that clauses, adjective plus that clauses, and noun plus that clauses. All these common structures using that don't have a comma beforehand. So, in general, don't write a comma just because you're writing that. Now, sometimes people get upset when they hear this and say, "I have definitely seen a comma before that." And okay, I believe you. But remember, I didn't say it's not possible for a comma to appear before that. I said that you generally don't write a comma just because you're writing that. And anytime someone has shown me an example of a comma before that, the comma has always been there, not because of that, but for another reason. So let's take a look at how this might happen. I recently encountered just such a construction in the book I'm currently reading. And in this extract, the author writes, he pointed out, for instance, that just as anger isn't usually very reasonable, neither is anxiety. So here we have a comma before that. But the comma isn't there because of the that, it's there because of the for instance, which the author has inserted into the sentence as a little extra phrase. We could do the same with another sentence which doesn't include that, and the comma would still be there. For example, if we wrote, "She suggested, for instance, getting a cat," we'd still have the same commas, but there's no that anywhere in sight. Let's take another example, this time from Charles Darwin. Here, Darwin writes, "On my return home, it occurred to me in 1837 that something might perhaps be made out of this question." So again, we have a comma before that. But again, the comma is not there because of that. It's there because an extra bit of information has been inserted into the sentence. This time in 1837. If we take this out of the sentence, we also lose the commas. So here we have, "On my return home, it occurred to me that something might perhaps be made out of this question," and the comma before that has disappeared. So, it bears repeating. It's possible that you might see a comma before that, but chances are it's not going to be there because of the that. It'll most likely be there because of something else. So, one last time, don't write a comma just because you're writing that. Now, if you got something out of this video, please do me a solid and hit the like button. And if you want to see more videos like this, be sure to hit subscribe and that notification button. Finally, let me know which questions you have about English and which topics you'd like to see a video about. To do that, simply leave your suggestions in the comments or hit me up by email. Okay, we are out. Cheers for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.